Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher. Welcome to day 2 of the Winter NAMM show from here in Anaheim, California. Lots of great things going on here today. The show is absolutely packed. I was over in the guitar hall and guitarist Eric Johnson was signing autographs in a booth. It was an incredible crowd scene over there. Lots of artist signings going on today. But in addition to all the artist signings and sightings, we've got a lot of great products to talk about as well. Let me tell you about a few of my favorites from today. I started out this morning at Orange Amplification. They had a press conference there that I was able to attend where they were showing the new products. 2 things really caught my eye. Actually, 3 things. The first was they have a compact 4x12 cabinet that sounded great. It's about 5/8 the size of a regular 4x12 cabinet. It has all the thump, but it's nice and tight on the bottom end. Sounded great, and they're using their own proprietary speakers in those now, I believe. But the thing that really caught my eye was the Micro Terror. Now, this is a tiny Terror amplifier, 20 watt solid state power amp, but it does have a 12AX7 in the preamp side of the amplifier. Sounded great. They had it wound up through these little single 8-inch cabinets, matching cabinets, so you can create a little dual stack that's about this tall with a 20 watt amplifier in there, surprisingly loud and a lot of tone. The other thing they have is a new thing called Divo, D-I-V-O, and what this does is let you auto-bias your amplifier. So you plug it in, and then you can put any type of tubes you want into your amplifier, and in fact you can foot switch between pairs of tubes in the amp. So if you have EL34s on one side and a pair of 6L6s on the other, you can actually foot switch between those, and changing tubes is as simple as pulling one tube out, putting another one in. It auto-biases. Really a smart product. I think it's going to make a big impact for guitarists who use any brand of amplifiers, not just Orange amps. Roland, of course, has a ton of new products here at the show. Some that caught my eye, the Roland VG Strat. Now this is a Fender Stratocaster that has the Roland VG modeling, the Cosm modeling guitar models built into it. So you can go from a Stratocaster to a humbucker to an acoustic guitar to a sitar, and they all sound very convincing. Now what's nice this year is that there's a brand new set of models in those, and they've really upped the ante. These sound very natural. The acoustic sounds great. I was very impressed with the sound of that, but of course the pickups sound wonderful as well. Now the other new thing for guitarists from Roland is the GT100. This is the latest generation of their multi-effects processor. Again, they've really upped the ante on the quality of the models, more amp simulations, there's an expression pedal built in, lots of really cool things in that. I think it's going to be a nice box for guitarists looking for a central processor for their rig, either in the studio or live as well. Now, there have been a number of trends at the show this year. Number one is a very compact, small amplifiers, the lunchbox amplifiers. We've seen them from Marshall, we've seen them from Fender, we've seen them from Orange, and all these different companies have them. Another trend, analog synthesizers. There's 3 compact, very affordable analog synthesizers here at the show. First up is the Moog Minotaur, which is basically the brains out of a Taurus pedal set. Really a great sounding synthesizer, gives you a lot of synthesis power, tons of bottom end, great sounding synthesizer. Arturia has their Mini Brute, also a analog synthesizer, has sliders for setting envelopes, the filters, a sub-octave oscillator as well. There's an arpeggiator built in. Another cool thing with that one is it has MIDI in and out, and it converts those MIDI connections into CV. So if you're running an older analog synth, you can control it from the Mini Brute. There's also the Pulse 2, which is in the Waldorf booth, another great sounding analog synth. So between these 3, very affordable. Again, they're all around that $500 price range, $600 price range. Good sounding synthesizers that let you get the real sound of analog into your studio or live rig. Now I've got a couple of really fun things I've got to tell you about. New guitar from PRS, it's a private stock and it's a Neil Schon signature model. Now you might expect from Neil Schon that you'd get a single cut with a Floyd Rose, 2 humbuckers, maybe a sustainer. What they've done is they've created a hollow body. So it's a slightly downsized hollow body guitar with a single cutaway with a Floyd Rose. So it's a hollow body jazz style guitar with a Floyd Rose in it, 2 hot pickups in it, really a great feeling guitar, sounds great as well. They're only making 30 of them, but really a fun axe. Finally, I talked earlier about the trends that are going on here. The other trend has to be iOS devices, the iPad, the iPhone, tons of stuff for those. There's new interfaces from Tascam and a variety of companies, but what I saw that just blew me away was Wave Machine Labs, the people who make Drumagog, have a new DAW called Auria. A 48-track DAW that runs in an iPad, gives you up to 24 inputs and outputs. There's a new version of VST that runs on iOS that'll let you run plugins within it as well, and it comes with some VST plugins already working on the iPad. It does all of the DAW-style audio file editing, not audio file editing, and it lets you apply the plugins, do all your mixing. Really an incredible thing. I think it's going to change the way we're working, because you just take your iPad, you take your audio interface, and you're making music with a totally silent system that has no hard drive noise, no fan noise, completely portable, really a fun thing, and really turning a lot of heads here at this show. I'm Mitch Gallagher. Thanks for joining me. I've got lots more to tell you about tomorrow. Be sure to come back. I'm here live at the Winter NAMM show, Anaheim, California.